Hey everyone, it's Vintage Vinny, and welcome to my eBay sales video for the month of March 2024. I have to say that March definitely picked up in sales. I know that everyone is still filing their taxes, getting their refunds and such, so that is definitely helping drive sales. So I'm very happy about that. I had some pretty good sales this last month. Some things I had just listed that had, sold instantly. So that made me really, really happy. And other things I've had listed for a while, I was happy that sold. And you just never know. Some things I'm willing to wait out on, and some things I'm just tired of having, and I put them in a donate pile and send them off to the thrift store for somebody else to purchase. So it's a cycle. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what I was able to sell last month. Before we jump right in, I hope you all had a great Easter. Spend some time with your family, eat some great food. Easter Bunny visited you, I hope. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So speaking of Easter, this was the first item to sell for the month of March. This is a Fitz and Floyd figural bunny teapot from 1977. I bought this at our townwide yard sale that happens. It's right down the road from my neighborhood, and I go every year. It happens the weekend falling before 4th of July. Long story short, I have learned to go on a Saturday as opposed to going on Independence Day because everyone is out and they are, everything gets picked over. So I made that mistake a couple years ago and I walked away disappointed. So I picked this up. I can't tell you how much I paid for it because it's just they had different tables and they put different items on there based on how much they wanted. So this was probably a $3 to $5 item. I believe I took a best offer of $28 for this, which is a fair price. It was not damaged. Definitely one of the more unique teapots that I have come across. So this is another item that I have had for a while. This is a um, drinking glass, Bosco glass. It has a Dalmatian dog on it. I think it was supposed to be a peanut butter cup. Peanut butter cup. Peanut butter glass, peanut butter jar. Like this is how you bought it and had the peanut butter in it. Lid's long gone. I think the intention was that you bought this with the product in it, and then after it was done, you used it as a drinking glass. I believe I picked this up at one of my Goodwill stores. I think I probably paid a couple dollars for it. Sat for a little while. Sometimes shipping even just one glass can be kind of a lot, which, is sad. But I waited out, and somebody asked if I would take a best offer of 15. Considering I only paid a couple dollars, I was not hesitant to take that price. So this is a Ginny Doll encyclopedia book from 2004. I bought this at a antique store slash indoor flea market. I think I paid about $4 for it, and I don't remember if I got full price or if I took a best offer. I want to say I paid it or I sold it for about 15. So from 4 to 15, that's still pretty good. And it was used, by the way. It was not in brand new condition. So for a while, with with my old inventory room, with how small it was and how cramped it was for me to get to things, this was an item that actually sat on a shelf for the longest time. This is a Neopets uh, interactive electronic game. It even had some of the animals still in it. I bought this for about $3 from a thrift store. And like I said, it sat for probably 2 years without me listing it. So I went ahead and listed it, and I think I sent out a best offer of $28, and that's what I got for it. So I was really happy about that. And these were very easy to ship. It probably I think it was like first class or something. It fit in a small enough box, and it didn't weigh a lot. So that was definitely a plus on my book. Another item that I had had for a while and that I listed as soon as I got my new inventory room is this 1990s Mr. Peanut Planters Peanuts football shaped metal snack bowl, like a tin kind of a thing. This I also paid $2 for several years ago, maybe like right after things started opening up, like maybe the last year after the pandemic, so 2021 ish. Paid about $2 for this. I had it listed for 15. I did take a best offer of I think maybe 11.50 or so, 10.50, maybe it was 10.50. I had it for a while, so I wasn't too upset about selling it for a little bit more than what I paid for it. Typically, I don't like to sell things for that low on here. Usually, that's my price points for like my live sales and such. But you know, you got to take what you can get, and sometimes your smaller priced items add up to a big chunk of change too. So, depending on what I have invested in something, I'll list something like this on eBay for $15. Another item that I picked up at the church sale that was part of the mile long yard sale here was this. Is it Joseph original or Yusef original? I've heard it pronounced both ways. Guess it's a potato, potato, tomato, tomato kind of a thing. Uh, so it's a strawberry napkin holder. I almost brought it to a live sale, and then for whatever reason, I decided to go ahead and list it. And I can't remember how much it was. It could have been $1. I sold it for or actually, I think I sold it for full asking price of $24.99. So that ain't half bad. So I spotted these glass salt and pepper shakers when I was at the Fayetteville Antique Mall in Fayetteville, Pennsylvania. Thought they were really interesting. Said, you know what, for $5, I will take them home with me. And come to find out that they were made by Anchor Hocking. It's part of the Manhattan line that they released in the 1930s. So I, of course, looked them up and found out that they were worth about. Somebody had taken a best offer from $30, so that's what I decided to do with mine. I listed mine for $29.99. Somebody offered me $20.50. So, of course, I went ahead and took that because, it's always fun when you list something and it sells right away or you get an offer that's really reasonable right away. And who knows, the person who made me that offer, they could have lost out on the last set that sold. So I just provided them another opportunity to purchase these. And also, you never know, they could have been looking for these for a long time. And, and even for myself, when I can't find something that I'm looking for, I will go to eBay for it if I really, really want it. Not going to go too much into a ramble, but sometimes advertising trays that I really like, I see in antique stores, and they're a lot more than what I can afford for them. Or something else that I really like. I have a Lenox seahorse vase that I saw in a shop out in Pennsylvania. I really liked it. I was not willing to pay the shop's $60 for it because when I researched it, I found out that the last one only sold for 28. So what I did is because I really, really liked it, I snapped a picture of it And then I went ahead and looked it up on eBay to see what other people were asking for them. So I found a a seller that had it for 45. And I offered him 30. We met in the middle at I think 33.50, and that's what I purchased it for because doing my research, I found out that it was only selling for 28, or the last one had sold for 28. So I paid the seller about $5.50 more, which honestly, I love it. It's mid-century, it's my thing. So I decided to go ahead and pay them a little bit more for it. So that's what I mean. If you can't find a reasonable price for something that you want in an antique store or any consignment shop, take a picture of it, see if you can find it online at a better price. That's what I was going with that. So I am a child of I was born in 1995, so the mid 90s, and my childhood was up through the 2000s and into the 20 teens. And one of my favorite book series as a kid was the Goosebumps book series. Now, I'm talking about the original stuff, not that other mumbo jumbo remake stuff. Anyway, so, over the last few years, I've found the DVDs for the show, the crazy good Fox produced Goosebumps book show. And I found out that I can actually buy the complete series. So I'd had these for a while, and when I found out I could actually get the whole set for X amount of money, I wanted to sell the DVDs that I had already had. Some of them were brand new, and some of them were gently used. I usually check all of my DVDs that I buy at the thrift store. I don't want to buy them if they're too scratched up. I want to make sure they're at least in somewhat new condition. Light scratches are okay because the Blu-ray players and the DVD players that are manufactured today, you buy them brand new, they can take a very scratched disc and still play it as if there was nothing wrong with it. Now, 20 years ago, I would argue with you and say don't even think about buying a scratch disc because it's just going to stop and freeze up on you. But technology has drastically improved over the last, I say 20 years. It improves every day. So Blue Sky Pottery, some of it is worth a little bit of money, some of it is, it's just not. I spotted these. I thought they were very interesting. They are magnetic salt and pepper shakers in the shape of zebras. I got these for like $2 or $3 at our local thrift store, and I did sell them for $24.99. Sorry about that little technical issue. So I have had this perfume for probably, I think maybe 5 years. I listed it one time before, and eBay did take it down. So I waited a little while because I knew it had some value, and I decided to go ahead and relist it. I think it was probably within the last month or so. I think it was a few weeks ago, actually, that I think about it. And, for a while there, eBay was not allowing used perfumes on their platform to sell. I'm thinking that they maybe loosened the rules a little bit. I could be wrong about that. Um, I know that they definitely don't allow used makeup like lipsticks and palettes and things like that. And I don't really dive into that much anyway. It's just the fragrances. Anyway, so I bought this for $3.75 probably 5 years ago at one of our charity shops for $3.75, I believe it was. And I listed it, got taken down. 5 years later, I relisted it, and I did take a best offer of 40 for this. This is Michael Kors Gold Luxe perfume. I always tell you all when I do these videos to make sure you look in your beauty areas at your thrift stores or in your peddlers malls, wherever you're going. Look for the perfumes and the cosmetics and all that stuff because people price some of that stuff because they just want to get rid of it. They don't. Sometimes people do know the perfumes and they price them up, but sometimes you can still find a really good bargain and you can make a little bit of money. That's definitely been the case with me. And I highly encourage you to check them at the thrift stores as well, because sometimes you can find some really nice high end things, names you'd never heard of before. Just a little side note before we continue. That's one thing I really, really like about doing what I do is that this is and I guess we can call it an industry or a job or profession where you're constantly learning about things, be it glass or perfumes or clothing, shoes. You're always learning about things, and sales are high on some things, low on some things, markets change. So you just gotta kind of go with what you can find. So it's always fun to learn, and I thoroughly enjoy doing so. So another thing that I've had for quite a while is this really cool 1997 cordless white phone. I want to say that I picked this up at a Goodwill store for probably about $4.50. I think I actually had sent this into Amazon, and let me tell you something, it has been a minute since I've done an Amazon shipment. I need to reactivate my account because I've got some things that are sitting downstairs waiting to be sent into the warehouses. With all of their new restrictions and approvals that need to go through, it's just been really, really hard for me to find products to sell on Amazon. Now, granted, I do still scan stuff in the stores to see what other people are asking, slash, what rates are, like what the fee is going to be after I sell it for X amount, how many are in FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, how many are in the distribution centers. I have to factor all that in when I'm buying something for that. So, um, I had a whole bunch of stuff come back to me from the warehouses because they just sat and sat. So I went through it, kept a few things to try to sell on here, and donated the rest of it that wasn't worth my time to put on eBay. So, anyway, so I paid $4.50 for this, and it did sell for full asking price of $129.99. That's probably the best sale I've had this month. So, if you all watched my last haul video from the Hancock Antique Mall, I picked up a whole bunch of different shaving cream. Now, some of you all may think, well, shaving cream, you can just go to, the dollar store or the Dollar General to get that. Well, um, I'm always looking for different things to sell, be it, old or new or something that's not made anymore. And this is the perfect example of that. Shaving cream I never would have thought had any kind of value to it. Well, this aloe shaving cream made by Colgate apparently is not being made anymore. And that's a little tip for you all. When something is discontinued, be it old or even something that's made, in more modern times, there are always going to be people who are loyal to their products, be it shaving cream, perfume, because perfume scents change and the formulas change over time. There are people who will pay up for certain things. So I paid about $1.25 for, I bought two of these and I bought some other shaving cream from the 80s. And this one did sell for $29.99, so roughly $30 for a can of shaving cream. So, like I said, it does not hurt to think outside the box when you're out shopping. Because most people, I'm sure, would probably just walk right past this and think, oh, it's some shaving cream. I can get that anywhere. Well, something about it spoke to me because I've never seen shaving cream with aloe in it before, and it definitely doesn't look like a newer Colgate product. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. You really gotta look and think outside the box when you're hunting different things. Because if you all notice in my live sales or, for my eBay store, I don't just sell one thing. I sell a mixture of everything, both new and old. And not to ramble again, but, I get that from both of my parents. My dad is very eclectic with what he buys when he's out shopping. And, my mom has very eclectic taste in her style as well. So that's where I get it. And if, you look around my bedroom, you're going to see a mixture of everything. You're going to see newer items, you're going to see a lot of older items from all eras. Like, it's not just one specific thing, it's a mixture of everything from different times leading up to now. So that's my little 2 cents right there. So this is really cool. I have never ever seen this before. This is Yardley of London Jaguar. It's cologne and aftershave. Based on my research, this was made in the 1960s. Came with the original case and the original bottles. I picked this up at one of our local peddler malls / indoor flea markets. Paid about $2.40 for it. It's been listed for a while. However, I'm glad that I waited and I sent out an offer of $85 and the person bought it. So I was tickled pink about that. And the last item that I would like to share with you all from my sales for the month of March of 2024 is this really awesome bottle of NFL Cologne Spray. Also came from the same peddler mall as the Yardley of London Jaguar, just about 2 years later. I've bought a bottle of this before and I was able to sell it. Believe it or not, I'm not sure how old this is, but it smells pretty good. I actually really like this, and I'm very picky about the colognes that I would wear. So I spotted this one, and I knew that I had sold it for $30 the last time, so I believe I paid about $2.40 for this one as well, and it did sell for $29.99 full asking price. So I want to thank you all so much for tuning in and listening to me ramble about the stuff that I purchase and a little bit more about me. Let me know down below in the comments section. Did you have some great sales this month? I would really like to know what you all have been selling because, like I said, this is a great job to have because I'm constantly learning about things I didn't even know about. So leave that in the comments below as well. Thank you all so much for watching and have a great night.